Today's video is all about the killer whales. We're going to be doing a deep dive into this project, looking at the value proposition. We're going to look at the tokenomics, the team, and overall, if we should be including this project in our portfolios for the up and coming bull run. So you know what? Let's talk about the news. Let's analyze the charts and let's strategize to capitalize. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mike and let's get right into it, guys. If you're new to the channel, welcome. On the channel we talk about cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all the altcoins, looking for opportunities. Whether we go up or down, bearish or bullish, it doesn't matter. But guys, some projects are really bullish, some projects are not, and this is why I feel like we need to be doing a deep dive today on Hello Labs. The token is Hello, of course, and we're going to be looking at what this project is all about. And of course, we're all curious, should we be scaling in? Should we be buying the dip? Should we be accumulating for the up and coming bull run? You know, Hello looks pretty good. Of course, we're going to be doing a deep dive. We're going to look at some of the characteristics, some of the details behind the project, and we're going to be using the website to navigate this deep dive. Now, this is a good opportunity to actually critique the website as well as a gateway. It's going to, obviously, websites are gateways to the project, to the team, and to what the actual value proposition is. And I'm hoping that this website is well built. So far, so good. Look at this landing page, nice and pro, very professional, nice and clean, very engaging, and so on. Right now, looking pretty good, but let's begin. We're going to be looking at the website. We're going to be looking at some of the details, and let's hope that this website gives us what we need. All right, let's continue. So, we have a more info button here that I want to leave for a second. We're going to scroll down a little bit more. Say hello to the game-changing entertainment. Hello Labs is the future of crypto and entertaining creating TV shows. So I like this already. I like the idea. You know, the idea is really great. Let's scroll up again so we can have a bit of context. Guys, this is just basically a panel of influencers, you know, in front of a camera. There's a bunch of new projects entering the space, coming in, making their pitches, and as viewers of this show, we get to basically get all involved into this pitch to see if these killer whales, if these whales are going to give these projects a thumbs up and a thumbs down. And of course, if you've been watching the Shark Tank and all those other type of business related shows that are very similar, guys, you understand exactly the platform, what they're trying to build here. And I think it's epic. I think it's great idea, very engaging. And personally speaking, I would be watching this, no doubt. Whether or not it has a token or not, it doesn't matter. As a show itself, it seems to be interesting, and it does give, I guess, the crypto space a lot of engagement and a lot of, exposure to, the mainstream society. That's the truth, right? We get a lot of exposure, and it may be a very interesting and appealing show to watch. So I'm hoping that's all good. Now, of course, we look at the team. We're going to look at the panel, the judges. They're heavyweights, no doubt. We have, the Altcoin Daily brothers are on it, and we know that their background is in television and entertainment, so that's actually good. They make scripts and plays and things like that, which is great. I'm assuming that they know, they got this, they know what they're doing, and they're all up in it. They're actually, I think, one of the investors, so that's good. They're a big part of the team, which is interesting. A lot of good stuff here. And when you look at the website, just standing here and sitting here looking at it, it does look like it is geared towards just being a show. And that's about it. But there's a lot more to be said here, guys. So let's continue. I like it. So far, so good. What's good? The idea is great. Everything is good. And if we keep on reading in this small paragraph, little by little, it loses me. It loses me a little bit. Now, of course, we're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly, and I'm hoping that everybody comes watching this video with an open mind and hears me out. Obviously, I try to keep very objective, very neutral. But then again, I do feel compelled to give you my opinion. And obviously, none of this is advice. None of this is financial advice. It's just my opinion. One guy behind the screen looking at what I see. And I do have some experience. And at the end of the day, I'd rather just show you my objective. If you feel like it's adding you any value, great. And, of course, support the channels. Give me that thumbs up. But at the end of the day, I'm here to be as open and transparent as possible. Okay, so if you keep on reading here, it says a TV show. And then all of a sudden it loses me. It loses me because because it starts to get into games and NFTs. For me, that it's totally derails the objective of what this project is all about. It almost like, what is a game doing here, and what are NFTs doing here? Okay, NFTs might be a little bit better, let's say, because NFTs are very, open. You could do a lot with NFTs, whether it be, little memorabilia or something that is being issued based on the show or something like that. That would be fine. But then you start to think about games and then NFTs, the games part just totally ruins it for me, obviously. Just my opinion. Now, what do they mean by games? Now, right away when you're reading this, when I was reading this, I was like, okay, are they going to gamify the show? And then I'm like, okay, thumbs up. Yes, gamify this show. Get the show, interactive. Maybe have an app, which they are going to be releasing very soon, apparently, according to the people on the Discord and the Telegram. They're going to have an app soon. And I'm thinking, okay, how are they going to gamify this show? And I'm like, yes, this is good, but not really, because then we keep on going and we start seeing arcades, and we're going to get in all of this in a second. Okay, so let's keep on going. We'll kind of dabble around just a bit as the website kind of unfolds and puts us in a certain direction, right? Okay, so let's continue. We have hello, 2 addresses, one on BNB and an ETH, so both chains are available. Obviously, ETH has high transactions, BNB not so much, and this is great, right? This is good, this is fine, very typical. Now we keep on going. The killer whales, who are these guys? They're all influencers within the space in various aspects. Some of them are crypto-based influencers, traditional economics influencers. Some of them are entertainment type of moguls, people that are in the entertainment business. Some of them are just good speakers, and that's all they really need, right? That's all you really need, a good speaker, a good host, and so on and so forth. And at the end of the day, this is a well-rounded team of guys, a panel of individuals that could do very well on the show. So I'm bullish, and of course we can recognize a lot of these faces. We have Altcoin Daily, we have Crypto Banter, we got a couple Wendy O, we got a couple good people in here representing crypto, which is really good. Sink or swim, really good pitches. I like this is great stuff here. And again, for the exposure, given that each and one of these crypto influencers have a minimum half a million followers, guys, that's 500,000 followers. That's significant, and in that case, we're doing good. We're doing good with regards to exposure, not only for crypto, but let's say for Hello Labs in itself. Okay, how are these influencers at the end of the day going to help influence? And I hate to use the word shill, but the reality is it is a shill. It is a fact. Just the fact that their face is there, they're behind the project, and they are going to get people all interested in Hello. Whether you think it's a positive or a negative, whether the token you think it's a positive or a negative, it doesn't matter. Their faces here are a positive in the sense that people are going to find it really, really bullish. Okay, so whether you take it as a shill or not, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it is like a sort of shill here happening. Okay, so take it as you will. Okay, let's continue. Say hello to the killer whales. If you want more detail as to where they're coming from, a lot of them come from entertainment, music, and so on and so forth, exchanges, BitGet, and so on. So get more details there. They're all about the Web3 and all over the different platforms, different aspects of Web3 and Hollywood and all of that. Okay, so go check it out, because this is actually pretty good. Let's continue here. The latest news, we have a bridge. We talk about bridges once in a while. They're a little bit of an issue as far as having a point of weakness. Bridges sometimes do get exploited, so that's something to consider. But then you get Hello and BitGet. This partnership, I'm very critical on partnerships, especially when I start to see partnership with exchanges. Exchange partnerships don't really do it for me. In fact, it makes me believe that they're just adding these partnerships just for getting interest, right? Getting people interested. These are not real good, solid partnerships. What does BitGet really have to offer other than, having a whale here and participating on the panel? panel. That's definitely great. Okay, let's say that that's where BitGet is getting their value, but what BKX, and you get a lot of others, right? So, and we're going to talk about some of their partnerships. And I like partnerships, but they got to be strategic. You can't just put a bunch of partnerships for fun, just because. And there's a bit of it happening, not a lot. There's some really good partnerships, and I'm going to be transparent about it, very clear about it. And there's some great ones, but when you're putting exchanges just for CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, just they're a partner because you're listed on their website, that's not a partnership. That's not a strategic partnership. That's just because you got listed. So we got to be able to kind of like decipher or filter out the noise from these partnerships, which one are actually strategic and adding value to the Hello Labs or the Hello token, or not. Okay. And guys, I'm going to tell you something, right? At the end of the day, really, this boils down to whether this project is a crypto project or not. Okay. This is something that I really want to be very clear about. And we're going to get into it a little bit more, okay, in a second, once we finish and start wrapping up this website. But this website, as of now, is looking like a pure entertainment based project, not a crypto project. Okay. There's nothing, they have a circle floating around here. Okay, they have an ETH wallet and a BNB wallet. That's about it. There's nothing here suggesting that this is a legitimate crypto type of project. It's a legitimate show, entertainment for entertainment value, no doubt. But what about its crypto aspect? Where is it? And we're gonna try our best to get it. Now we have an arcade. Wow, okay, some games, but what do these games have to do with crypto and the main bread and butter, meat and potatoes of this project? You're talking about a show, or a sink or swim crypto pitches show, and all of a sudden you have zombies in Doge Dash. Nothing to do with anything. These are the games. This is what the arcade is all about. Guys, let's spend some time here for a second. This is where I feel like the Hello Labs team went really, really disjointed. In my opinion, this is a negative. It's not a positive because you lose focus, right? This was the opportunity to gamify the actual show. In my opinion, that's a totally different conversation. I do have some ideas, but that it's irrelevant. Right now, the ideas being presented here on the website have nothing to do with the main meat and potatoes of this project, which is that show. You have I feel like what they're really doing here is giving the Hello token some use case. Because if you take away the games, Hello token currently has zero use case. There is nothing to do with the Hello token other than accumulate it and be happy that you have a bag. And unfortunately, that may sound a bit negative, but this is where we're at right now with Hello Labs. I'm not saying that the future can't give you some good value proposition, but right now the utility behind the Hello token is pretty much nothing. This is it. This is a utility. If you hold the token currently, you can play these two games. And for me, that's not enough. That's nothing, right? You got to really have some good value propositions here. If you're going to consider yourself a Hello or some sort of crypto Hello project, there is no crypto involved right now other than these two games. So let's back it up again. I still feel that the actual project is an entertainment-based show, which is have high value. It sounds great. Lots of good opportunity to get lots of engagement, build a massive community. Amazing. But when it comes to what it is for crypto, to tell you the honest truth, this project in itself didn't need a token. This project itself could be basically a license to Netflix or any other type of show distribution channel as they see fit, and get picked up that way and generate tons of income. Why do we need a token right now? And the only reason why we have it right now is for these two games. Guys, that's not really good. I'm not interested. This is not a good thing. Now, that's my opinion, of course. That's just my opinion. But if you look at the Hello token, no utility and no promise that the Hello token is going to benefit from the success of the show. There is no promise here because the token is not integrated into the success of the show in any way. Why? Guys, another thing that we need to consider is that there's no white paper. None whatsoever. No white paper. There's no documentation. There's no roadmap. There's nothing at all to suggest anything. So we're going to take a bit of a break here and look at something else for a second, guys. I have to report what I found. And honestly, it's all about being objective and being honest and transparent. Guys, I really do feel like right now this project or the token is a community-based token, right? There's no value proposition with regards to crypto. And that's a very unfortunate thing, considering that you have heavyweights in the crypto space here representing as far as, the killer whales go. Now, let me explain what I mean. I went on the Discord, I went on the Telegram, and this is the type of conversation I had. Guys, if you're following me on my Discord, you would have seen that I was kind of, giving you a play-by-play with my interactions with the community. So I started asking questions, right? And I wanted to know where the tokens are and what the distribution is. And of course, one of the main things was there's no white paper. Okay, fine, I'll take that. It's a new project. There's no white paper just yet. They're still writing it. And we got to understand that could be the case. It could be legit, and it possibly is legit. But go back and look at those whales, right? Which you're telling me that, you got these whales representing this project and they can't come up with a white paper. Like, I just find that to be very hard to believe. So let's move on from that for a second. But you can see that, it's a faith-based system, guys. This is all based on faith right now. And you're going to see some of the questions that I asked them, and they relate to the tokenomics. The tokenomics right now is all based on faith. Faith on the founder, Paul Caslen. A lot of this is they are believing that he's going to do the right thing with the remaining tokens that need to enter circulation. We're going to talk about tokenomics in a second. I'm going to explain to you exactly the market cap and circulating supply in a bit. But I want you to get a sense of what's going on here, because it's very community based and it's very faith based, right? So that for me is a bit of an issue. We are not here for faith based systems. If we wanted a faith based system or a faith based asset, we would just be scaling into any other type of asset that exists in the traditional market, because traditionally that's what we've been doing, putting faith in a company, faith in the CEO that he was gonna call good shots, or call good shots, and distribute the assets in an according way that would definitely yield a high revenue count, right? That's what we really want. That's traditionally. This is not traditional. We want transparency. We want things written on the blockchain. We want a contract that's going to say XYZ. And right now, the fact that we are actually, and this is not just once, this word faith is very, very, it's heavily used within the community, especially Telegram. The Discord was a little bit of a different feeling. I felt like the admin on the Discord were a little bit more serious about this concept and didn't want to come across as a community token, but nonetheless, the Telegram I wasn't really feeling that. So feel free to read that thoroughly. And then when I started asking questions, these were the type of responses I was getting. Now they have rows. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Telegram, but it is a bot. It's a bot that a lot of small influencers use, such as myself. That's totally fine, because we don't want to get custom bots, and they're expensive and all of that. But when you're talking about a big project such as this with whales behind it and a huge team and lots of capital and all of this doesn't look like it's a legit scenario, especially when you do not have a white paper, and the way you expect the general public to retrieve information is through a bot. Like, this is all we got. This is all you're going to get if you want to know about the tokenomics. You're going to rely on CoinGecko, which we know we can't really rely on anyway, because a lot of the times the numbers are off, and sometimes they don't truly represent. So that's a problem. We look for white papers, legitimate sources, right? And then I start asking individuals on the Telegram, where can I get official information? And then some of the individuals there, the admin, believe that they are official, which, fair enough, they are, but they're not. The reality is we want the official coming from the team. We want to have a seal of approval from the team, and we don't get it here. We get rows. This is what you're going to get. This is the best you're going to get, is some information with regards to tokenomics. I'm going to show you a little bit more. We'll kind of scroll around here a little bit to see some of the images that so then I went on the Discord and I tried to get a token distribution to see, like, can I get some transparency? And then of course we got Fiddy. He tried his best. He gave me what he could, with all props to him and all the people on both platforms, both the Telegram and the Discord, doing their best to answer my questions. And I truly feel that they are doing their best given the information that they have. And I don't know who this person is, Fiddy Pence, but again, what does it take to whip up a quick website? You know, you can get an AI bot to whip up a website or a page that would kind of give us some of this information in a legitimate way. And I really don't know who Fitty Pence is and if he is an actual formal member of the team or not. And that's a bigger issue for me. So you can see that if you trust this, okay, and it's a bit of a faith-based system. You know, if you trust it, fine, you got a bit of info. 10%. I didn't even do the math to see if this all adds up, but the team gets 10%. Marketing 5%, which is low for me considering it's an entertainment based platform. I see other projects having high marketing percentages, while this one has low and it's entertainment. I don't know. Listings, okay, 3%. Advertisers, development, community, and we want more detail about this with regards to community and treasury about 8%. I'm not sure. And then there's a bit of ambiguity here. Okay, so the community for me, this aspect is a little bit concerning. Why? Because it's a good portion of it. And who is in charge of distribution to the community? This is the thing, faith-based system. Okay, so another response from Rose. Let's see if I can get this. So look at this type of response right here on the Telegram. So I'm like, I just want to know, like, so we expect to trust the token holders, or expect to trust the team with some of the token distribution. Yes, you are. Basically, why are you here? Have you done your research? Basically saying, are you done here? Get out. That's basically and I feel like at that point I was like, I'm going to get blocked from this Telegram. And then I mentioned that, like, am I going to get blocked if I keep on asking questions? Because I don't want that. But ultimately, I want transparency. I'm here because I have questions, and of course they trust the Hello team, and all the power to them to trust. But I'm not here to trust anybody. I want transparency. Let's continue, and we're going to talk about this in a second, guys. I went a little bit too far here. There was one more thing. Paul, yeah, the trust, a lot of trust, guys, a lot of trust. Okay, let's move on for a second and kind of see what's going on with the continuation of the website and get into some of the tokenomics and all of this. So you can kind of see what I was dealing with when I was trying to research, trying to get numbers, trying to get, build confidence into this project, because we know that confidence and eventually gives you the confluence to, get in more, right? To basically buy the dip and expose yourself to the potential gains that you could get here. But without that confirmation, you're not going to feel comfortable, and we want to get comfortable. I want to remain bullish to the point that I even went on their Telegram or Discord, I forget which one, and I was like, please, can you give me anything that will let me make a bullish video for my YouTube channel? And what I got was a link to the promo video. That was it. Okay, so for me, that's not enough. I need more. We need information. So it's almost like they're just relying on typical marketing tactics to basically sell this project to the general public. Okay, so so far I know I sound a bit negative, but this is what I've experienced. So take it as you will, guys. And if you appreciate it, thanks for the support. All right, let's continue. A lot of exchanges. This is great. Lots of volume out there. Lots of lots of liquidity. I guess we don't have major exchanges. You can see, but these are the partner list. Okay, the partner list. CoinMarketCap. This is something that's interesting to me. We know who's behind CoinMarketCap, Binance. Okay, and Binance is not even one of the let's say exchanges that are hosting this token. Which, why not? I start to question why not. Why isn't BNB hosting the token, considering that CoinMarketCap is all involved, right? So that's questionable. CoinGecko. What does CoinGecko have to do with this? Well, there's a little bit of information with regards to CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and some of these. We know that BitGet, one of the whales is from the BitGet team. And I think some other ones, we have Universal, and then we have Sony Music and Universal Music. Why do you need so many music? What's the necessity to have these two companies compete or cannibalize one another? I don't know. And then we have Altcoin Daily, which is super bullish. Obviously, we support the dudes. They're great. They're, they offer great value to the community. They've been always really transparent and, level-headed about crypto. And I appreciate them. So I think that's a really bonus. But, a lot of these, like, do we need them there? Do we really need Gate? Like, why is Gate here? Why is Bitmart here as a partner? MEXC. Why is MEXC here as a partner? Let's be clear about that. They're not really partners if all you're doing is being listed on it. And it looks like they're just trying to fill up this space. So for me, be critical. I would say 50% of these are potentially strategic. The other ones, funds, get rid of them. They're not really valuable partners. They're good, but they're not valuable partners or strategic whatsoever. So that's my take right here. You can see this is the first page. I went through it. Yeah, I was a bit critical, maybe a bit rough, but I'm trying to be as honest as possible. Let's continue. Let's click the more button, more info, because I did kind of skip over that. What does that give you? Killer whales. Say hello to the whales. We know these are going to be the judges. Mario, this guy's really big on Twitter, on X. Okay, biggest show on X. And he's just a personality that way. Okay, he has businesses going around, e-commerce, okay, companies, sure, but nothing related directly to crypto. And he's just a celebrity in my book. Okay, and a pretty strong one because he's very popular on X, and he's obviously an asset in that case. Okay, so a producer, Yuga Labs, really good. Okay, fine. And then of course we got a heavyweight financial mogul. Great, this is somebody we need. And we have Rand, co-founder of Banter Media, a venture capitalist, another heavyweight. Guys, of course, this is a stellar team so far. Rand, great, I appreciate him. Of course, there's people positive and negative, but you got to give it what it is. He's going to bring in the volume, he's going to bring in the views, he's going to bring everything we need for Hello to do well, whether you like him or not. Okay, put your emotions aside for a second and just look at what he built as an entrepreneur, and ultimately the positive impact that he has in the crypto space outweighs the negative significantly, if you feel like there isn't any negative. Okay, so we got to be very open about that. And then Gracie here, managing director at BitGet. Okay, really strategic scenario here, having her on board. And then you have a content creator, comedian. I think he could just be somebody there for, engagement and all of that, and an audience, having an audience. Okay, and then we co-founder of another exchange, and then Web3 analysts. Okay, technical Wendy. Oh, another good one. That of course she's OG, and we all love Wendy. Okay, that's fine. And then the two bros doing very well like usual. I can't say anything else about them. They're great. Okay, great. The amount of engagement that they can bring in is a very, very healthy. Okay, so good team overall. We got to admit, that's great. Sink or swim. Lots of good engagement here. Vote to win a wildcard spot on the show. This is good. Voting is now closed. This is potentially a gamification. This is how, the tokens are going to be used. Tokens will be able to be unlocked daily super votes. You know what I mean? Holders. This is more utility. This is the utility that this project really needs, which is very, very healthy. Not the games. Get rid of those games. Focus on the show. The games for me are a distraction, completely a distraction. Hello Labs and CoinMarketCap. This is really good. This is very strategic. So it seems like in their roles of co-producers, CoinMarketCap will lead the way of sourcing out projects to include on the show. This is it. This is good. And of course, we know who's behind CoinMarketCap. And again, I'm wondering why BNB is not all involved in this as well, as far as an exchange or listing the token on their exchange. So I'm wondering what's going on there. But nonetheless, really good. That's a very strategic one. And some other partners here, now they kind of give a little bit security partner. Okay, CoinMarketCap, Altcoin Daily, and then BitGet. So pretty good. If you have any more questions, a lot of them are here. Nice and transparent. Related content, season 1 trailer, another whale, and more whale stuff. Okay, good stuff. Overall, decent. I like it. Let's go to the arcade, the second tab. Again, back to the game. I honestly, it feels like I'm on a totally different website. I don't even know what this is all for. Again, I'm not going to harp on it anymore. Let's go to the news. A bit of a news section here, which is nice. You got a little bit of everything of what they're up to. Maybe you might want to consider this maybe a little bit of a roadmap to give you an idea of what their visions are in the next little while. But Hello and Sony Music, new whales announced. Okay, Hello presents blinding light. Okay, bonus level. I don't know. Killer whales, more stuff. Halloween collection, NFTs that have nothing to do with anything. Okay, great stuff. Fine, if you take it as you will. Okay, about us now. More interesting stuff. More important stuff with regards to the token. Okay, this is Paul Casland. He's the co-founder or the founder of Hello Labs. Okay. This is it. You want to know about him? Fully transparent. The team is fully doxed. Great stuff. Let's talk about this team. This team currently, right now, I went through all of the majority of them. I think all of them, for that matter, one by one. And I've seen none of these individuals basically have any experience in blockchain technology. Now, I'm not saying they got to be a developer. I mean, a programmer, a full stack programmer, although maybe having one on board may not be bad, but it's not a necessity given that they're going to be using the Ethereum network and basically deploying a token on top of that. So it's not necessary, but understanding the way the market works and the overall sentiment in the market and how to read the market sentiment is actually very valuable, right? It's, you know, they have a lot of experience in marketing and in the entertainment industry, which is really good, fine, and that background is amazing, but it's a whole different outlet. This is not Hollywood. Although the show is about Hollywood, at the end of the day, they really need to get some insight into what the crypto community is all about and introduce that into the team, right? As a value proposition. There is no value proposition, and there needed to be someone that was a real pro in cryptocurrencies and understand what the market is all about. Why? Because maybe they would have a white paper right now. Maybe they would have a clear delivery of some of the tokenomics and some other aspects. Maybe those games wouldn't be there, and there would be something totally different available other than those two arcade games that have nothing to do with anything. So that's my opinion. Obviously, this is where it's at now. A great team. Maybe they're relying on some of the whales as consultants. Could be possible, but they don't have no stake other than being whales. Now, we don't know anything behind the scenes with regards to a token distribution. Again, there is no transparency with regards to token distribution. Very little. Now, I'm going to tell you again, it's a very faith-based system. Went on the Discord, and I do have screenshots. I believe they're on the Discord. A lot of my communication with them, and at the end of the day, we have to put faith in Paul Cuslin that the rest of the circulating supply that's going to be issued is going to be allocated in the correct way. Why? Because as of now, and we're going to talk about tokenomics. As of now, let's go look at this right here. There's about 530 million circulating supply. So out of the billion total supply, we got a good portion of them out there, okay, out of the Holo token. What happens with the remainder? Right now, what I've gotten is that there's a promise that no more will be entering circulation, only if they see fit, if it's necessary. Okay, if the team feels necessary. And that goes back to that screenshot that I showed you earlier, but that I basically said, so we have to put faith and trust the team that they are not, that what they're going to do with the remainder of the tokens. And basically the answer is yes, we got to trust them. That, you know, if there's another whale that comes in, they're going to have to, you know, basically give them some tokens. If there's another exchange that comes around and they want basically more liquidity, or they want to pay a fee to get listed, or whatever the case may be, we have to trust that they're going to be deploying the capital correctly. And there's obviously this is not a DAO. This is basically a very, let's put it this way, guys, it's a very centralized way of allocating and distributing the tokens, right? We have to put faith in one individual. This is a fact. So market cap is still very low. You're at about 33 million, very low market cap. Trading volume is all right. It's about 5%. It could be a little bit more. Fully diluted, it's very small, 62 million, very, very small. And the fact that it fits under the categories here on GameFi, honestly, is not a very good, smart thing. In my opinion, this it should be in its own category altogether. It should be in its own narrative, and it should be considered the first of its kind. And that should be a big part of its entire marketing plan here, should be the fact that it's leading the way. It is going to be a pioneer in this industry of finally bringing a mainstream entertainment into Web3, not gaming. Gaming is already there, and to be honest, almost borderline becoming oversaturated. We have a lot of gaming projects coming in hot from heavyweight individuals, heavyweight teams that already have a track record. Hello, this is not their, this is not their specialty. Entertainment, as far as video of shows and television, that is their industry, and I feel like they needed to stick with that, okay, and basically boast that. Now, let's continue here. Billion tokens, great, a lot of tokens. That really is a very arbitrary number, but at the end of the day, there's going to be a lot of supply. Max supply is about 1 billion, so we still have approximately half of the tokens to enter distribution, regardless of that faith-based system. Approximately half of those tokens could enter the market and dilute the price even further. Okay, if we had a vesting period or some sort of transparency with regards to the tokenomics, that would be great, but it's based right now, we got to trust them that they're not going to basically put more into circulation. That's the verdict there. Okay, so let's move on. Let's take a look at Etherscan for a second. Let's see what we got. Etherscan, this is to give us an idea of the token distribution on the blockchain, on the Ethereum blockchain. Look at this. Okay, just whatever is issued right now here on the blockchain, we can see that one wallet. Let me kind of do one of these so you can see this. One wallet holds approximately 96% of the tokens here. Guys, I don't know about you, but this doesn't look very healthy. I don't know any. That's the problem. There's no white paper to explain any of this. So for me, that's a bit problematic, right? 96%. Now, if we go over to, let's see if we can get the other scanner going, the BNB scanner. Also, we have a very similar setup. We can go to the holders and see what's going on here. Token. And you can see we got a little bit more of a distribution happening here, but look at this account right here. It holds 35% of the tokens. So a significant amount as well. Now, of course, there's a bit more distribution, and then others, kind of like an amalgamation of many other wallets, small wallets here and there, fine. But what is this one about? Now we can see it's a trust wallet, team, finance, security, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the heck this is, but I did get a link from the Telegram from one of the team members giving me some sort of website where the BNB tokens are going to be locked up within this faith-based system, again, locked up. And again, there's no transparency there. I don't trust those websites. I don't know anything about that without an official documentation explaining exactly what's going on with the token. So for me, and then again, if they need the tokens, they will distribute them. If they don't, they're not being touched. I don't know. Guys, this is it. This is all I really got with regards to tokenomics. Like, there's nothing more, right? There's nothing more, unfortunately. I would like to report back with a better stance here, but I can't. Okay, let's continue. What else do we have? Twitter. Let's go look at their Twitter page. What's going on in their Twitter page? Hello. It's not bad. They got 63,000 followers, which is pretty good. Given the fact that right now the market's pretty dry, there's nothing really happening out there. They're still pumping. We're going to look at some of their metrics in a second. They got some teams all involved. They got this guy involved. They got lots of good conversation with other, influencers. So they're pushing. They get the drift that this is a very necessary thing, and to get that exposure, they need to be very active on X. Okay, so that's my take there, and pretty much, guys, this sums it up. Now, you guys know I do produce those infographics. Let's take a look at this. Again, I got my infographic here somewhere. Here we go. Hello. It's basically, as an overview, it's a Web3 environment, and it's meant to bring entertainment. That's going to be the core competency. That's the value proposition, is crossing Web3 into the entertainment industry. And I think that they have a really good, interesting idea. Now, I know a lot of you are looking at my rating right now, and I'm going to hear me out. This is being as honest as possible. Okay. Now, you could read this on your own, but I kind of elaborated on the team and the project already, so you can do that. Let's look at some of these details. Again, the token. The actual ticker is hello. The price is at about 6.2 cents. The market cap is very small, 39 million. Trading volume is about 5%. Not bad. I usually like 10, but that you can interpret that as you will. I like volatility. I like high volume in the trading volume, given the fact that we want liquidity. We want to be able to buy and sell and exit, the market really easily. But there's no big exchanges just yet. They're all like mid-tier, but there's a lot of them, so that's good. But a little bit more volume would be nice to see. Trading volume, okay? But as a trader myself, okay, so supply 63%. Some coin market cap reports 630 million. So let's use that number. A good portion of them are already in supply, circulating supply. That's the reality. A good portion, but there are still a good amount remaining, approximately 400 million. That's a significant amount. Okay, now this significant amount, how are they going to be distributed? Now again, like I said, there's no clarity because there's no white paper. Max supply 1 billion, fully diluted 62 million, and that is still very small. So this project is very young, and as a up and coming project within a new narrative, in my opinion, this is not a gaming project. They should remove that from their mindset. It is definitely an entertainment thing, and it can have a really high value proposition just based on that and focusing on that. Reality is this thing can grow so big that it could exceed all expectations despite the negativity that I see right now, right? Because it is a trendsetter. It could be definitely a trendsetter. This is the first, it has the first mover advantage. It's got heavyweights in the industry right now backing it. It's got everything to go for it, and they just need to tighten this all up just a little bit. It's not a lot. It doesn't need a lot. It just needs a little bit. Okay, so let's continue. Sorry, guys. Whoa. That was quick. Let me see. Now we got the ecosystem. The ecosystem is basically what it is. There's nothing really happening there other than those 2 games, and you know, the show itself, and potentially an application, an app that's going to be deployed one day. Okay, so no roadmap, unfortunately, none. I have to give it. That's a very you know, poor thing, poor choice right there. It doesn't give them a sense of accountability. They need to be accountable for where this project is going, what the team is developing, and not having a roadmap just says they're not willing to commit to their accountable to the accountability. Okay, so they need to commit. We need to see some idea. It doesn't have to be to the date and to the hour or to the minute. It's going to give us a general idea what the next steps are for the project and what's going to be happening in the short term. Utility, guys, it's very confused, no direction, needs thought, strategic planning. You have zombie games and all of this kind of stuff happening there for no reason that have nothing to do with anything. And I keep on repeating myself because I'm in disbelief that the marketing team actually thought that was a great idea. That's my opinion, obviously, not financial advice on any of this. I hope that, you know, if you have strong convictions and you think those games are great, all the power to you. This thing could run up and do very well despite my you know, my belief here, or my overall impression. You know, I feel like those games are the only thing that is giving the Hello token as a token. Remember, I'm doing a research and a deep dive into the token, not to the show, because the show is epic. The show is great. As a utility for the actual Hello token, guys, it's very low utility, extremely. There's no value here whatsoever other than those 2 games. So right now it's a bit you know, up in the air. Okay, so the ecosystem relies on the games, the utility relies on the games, the roadmap, there's none. The team doesn't really have any blockchain or crypto experience other than really good marketing, production, and that's their strength and core competency, and the team is fully docked, so that's good. But you can see that we're lacking here with regards to this project being a crypto project. It's lacking. It's a entertainment project, right? So that's where it's lacking. Up until now, you can see that the weak spot is defining this as a crypto project. Let's continue. Socially amazing. You see, this is the difference, right? We're talking about being an entertainment project that's doing well. Considering that they were in a bear market, and every project up until today, of course, because I'm doing Hello, their followers have been coming down, looking not enough tweets, not enough engagement, not enough, you know, overall interaction on X, and you can see that they're actually up in the last 30 days, doing pretty good. You know, they're getting a lot of followers. So this is good. As a community, you know, we can call this a community token. As of now, this is what I'm really confident calling this, is a community token with very low fundamentals or use case. It's doing well on socials. And now if you're going to get in on it based on these pumpamentals or these things that could pump up the price, fine. We know that community tokens do very well. And as a community, Hello right now is building a very strong one. So social aspect, 9 out of 10. As far as their Discord and Telegram, they need to kind of steer away from that very, very faith-based type of this talk. Okay, and I know it because the team doesn't give them some, you know, some good factual information to present and represent the token. All they have to do is rely on right now is on a faith-based system. So you can't blame them either if they don't have the facts, they don't have the info, they don't have the white papers, they don't have anything to really get bullish on. All they're going to rely on is faith, and that's what you kind of sense throughout the social media platforms, Discord and Telegram particularly. Okay, so again, very objective. trying to keep it real here. Tokenomics, no clarity. Again, they have some info on Telegrams that is distributed by, you know, some random bots, and even the members there are very scripted, and you know, like they do their best. So all the power to them, guys. No disrespect, because I know they're trying their best to kind of disseminate some of the info, and I don't even think it's their fault that they don't have more to offer. Partnerships, some of them are strategic, some of them are not. The good thing is the ones that are really powerful. They're great. You got CoinMarketCap, Altcoin Daily, Universal, Sony, you know, Hacking. They got a lot of things going on, but it looks like some of them are listed just there to fill up some space, that they got a lot of partnerships. So we got to be really critical on the ones that are strategic and the ones that are not, and they're just there for because they're listed on an exchange or listed on a website or mentioned on a website. Guys, that's not enough. That's not a partnership. So let's be real about the strategy. And at the end of the day, I still feel like it's pretty decent. Their partnerships are pretty strong. Their exchanges have a little bit more growth there. I'm curious as to why they're not listed on Binance. For me, that's a little bit like why, the gray area there. They have CoinMarketCap all up in it. They're definitely a part of the team. They're co-producing or whatever the case is. And all of a sudden, you have nothing to do with Binance. For me, that's, you know, mixed messages kind of thing. Okay, so overall, you can see that my ratings are directly related to the factual information presented. But also, we have to consider that Hello currently is very young. It's very young. However, we don't even know when this show is actually going to be released and how it's going to be released. But it seems to be very young. Look at the market cap. It's only 39 million market cap. It's it could be very undervalued at the current moment, but you can see how some individuals could be completely reserved because there's no transparency and no, you know, real value as far as how it's represented. Okay, we need representation here. Let's talk about my verdict for a second here, guys, and then we'll wrap it up for today. Entertainment narrative, of course, first of its kind. This is something that we need to be bullish on. This is something that needs to be really out there. Hello's doing a great job bringing in a new use case to cryptocurrency. Okay, now we need to give Hello an actual utility, and that's what the value proposition and its utility is so confused that it's not even confusing, it's confused. It doesn't know, is it a gaming project? And as of now, that's the only utility it has. It's better not to have any gaming, just to have a utility for fun or for just to have some use case. It's better not to have it at all, right? And that's my opinion. Obviously Ethereum, it's an Ethereum token. Is that a good thing? It's also hosted on the BNB chain. You know, we look for transaction fees. I wonder how that's going to hold up. No white paper, guys, a very negative thing here. What does it take when you have millions of dollars on the stake? What does it take to whip up a quick white paper? It doesn't even have to be full on, at least to give an idea of what's going on here up until what's today, instead of relying on a bot. That for me is a negative. No, it doesn't even seem like a crypto project because of that. No clarity on tokenomics. It doesn't seem like a crypto project because of that, right? No clarity on tokenomics. Is this a token or not? Is this a project that relies on its token or not? And it doesn't seem like it even needs to. Faith-based system, a very negative thing, guys. I'm not in it for belief. I want to have factual information. Now, I know this is not a DAO where we're expected to vote and all of that kind of stuff, but at least give us some sort of schedule that we can rely on, not just, you know, whenever they feel the team feels to deploy, that's when they'll deploy. Whenever they have an opportunity that they need it, that's when they'll deploy. Guys, I'm not into that. Not into that, right? So, and that's, again, my personal opinion. Let's continue. Disjointed ecosystem, gaming, and then you'll have a show, and then some games that don't even relate to the show. At least make the games relate to the show somehow. Make it relatable in its theme, at least. Not zombies that have nothing to do with crypto and this type of idea. Team is fully doxed, which is bullish. Great. I've seen so many projects right now coming out thinking that they don't need to be doxed for some reason. So I'm happy to see this. I'm happy to see that you can actually investigate who they are and, you know, get bullish on what they actually offer to the team. And of course, they offer some really good experience within the entertainment industry, marketing industry, and all of that stuff. So it is actually a really good thing to see that end of the let's say the industry, that part of the industry, well represented. However, is the blockchain industry well represented on the team? And I think that's where it's lacking. It needs a little bit something to do with marketing, production, but a strong one in crypto, at least, to know exactly how to read the market. And maybe some of these decisions may not have been taken. And I'm actually confused as to why the whales, are they involved financially as well? Are they stakeholders somehow? Because if they are, I'm surprised no one said anything or even got involved. Or maybe that's not their spot, and that's the reality. You might be looking at those whales and saying, you know what, I trust these guys because they're involved. But do they have any say with regards to the project and how it's going to be run? Probably not, guys. We don't know their model, their distribution channel, and or their business structure. We don't know how it's working, and faith-based systems don't work with me. So strong influencers on board is definitely a bonus, guys. Huge. They have the capability of generating a huge community, a massive community that can take Hello to the next level, and as a first mover could definitely smash through any expectations, right? Especially as being the first mover, we know that in the bull run, these are the tokens that run up really, really, really hard. Okay, so their X engagement is doing well. And as expected, I expected it to do well, given that they have the background and know how to deal with entertainment and marketing and all of that. I'm expecting really good things from their social aspect. Okay, so pretty good from that. You can see that right now my verdict is, pretty much 50-50. Hello, let's talk about the market cap. Now, what about if the market cap reaches 500 million? Which, guys, at the end of the day, is not a large market cap. It could be a lot more. But let's be modest here. That's just a 16x. It's at $1. If it gets there, it's at $1. Now, what about if it gets to a $1 billion market cap? We start to get into a large cap altcoin. That's the reality. When you start looking at $1 billion market cap projects, it's a large cap altcoin. Not a large cap in general, because we got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and it starts to come down, would be kind of like a mid cap. But if you look at a $1 billion project, $1 billion market cap, it starts to look like a larger cap altcoin. And could it get there? And if we look at it from a gaming perspective, you have competition, but it's not gaming. This thing should be in a narrative on its own, and it should be in a category of its own. And it could be very possible that we see this thing hit a $1 billion market cap. So what I'm trying to say here is that, if we take it, as it has a lot of competition and it's a gaming project, and it may be even a community-based project. Let's say it's a community token, not a meme token, a community-based token that relies on community for hype and engagement and overall mass adoption. If that's the case, this thing can run up to $1 billion, no problem. No problem at all, because it's the hype that we're going to be benefiting on the community, the interest, the engagement, the flair, the Hollywood, all of that could run it up significantly, and that could be the value proposition on its own. Forget the tech, forget the token, forget all of that. But the question is, how are token holders going to benefit from this show? So the show could be very, very super successful, but how are the other token holders going to benefit from the show itself? Right now, there's no indication on how, as a holder, if you hold Hello, how is that going to benefit? How is the token going to actually get absorbed in its utility? Right now, all we have is those two games, and the proposition that possibly we can have some sort of voting system or something like that. Again, a lot of ambiguity, and I know that this project is very young, and if you're going to wait for all of this to get ironed out and get transparent and the white paper to come out and all of this, it may be too late, and we might see this project run up significantly and the price go up a lot. And that's probably what a lot of the bulls right now on this project are going to say, right? We're still new, it's still young, and it still has a lot of room to grow. And this is the thing. But what do we do here? It's all about position size. Are you going to get overexposed and go all in? Guys, this is all about the facts and all about the confluence that you're going to find in the deep dives. And, figure out if you feel that this is risky based on some of this factual information. Get into a position size that you can absorb if it does take a bit of a dip. Okay, so far, guys, I'm thinking that if we get to $1, we're getting to a mid-cap altcoin, 500 million. That's an average good bull run type of move. And if this thing picks up the way it could potentially go based on the first mover and the entertainment aspect about it, it could hype up so much that it could get to about $2, which I believe that some people might even say that's not enough either. But $1 billion market cap, you're talking about getting into a large cap cap type of scenario as far as altcoins go, and I think that's where maybe things might kind of get a bit of resistance, especially the fact that you're expecting it to do work magic in one bull run. Maybe let the bear market come around, let it come back down, we'll buy the dip in the next bear market. Although we're still kind of in a bear market already, we're still talking about plans further, but sometimes if this project is going to do well, it might take a couple bull markets to actually really hit the top 10. It could, but this is all about ironing out some of this ambiguity and getting their stuff together here, guys. If it's going to be considered a crypto project, it needs to behave like a crypto project. If it's gonna, consider itself an entertainment project, get rid of the token. No need. Call up Netflix, get them on board, get listed, or I'm sure something can be worked out even with Elon, maybe on Twitter. Get a show going, and you don't need a token whatsoever. Okay, that's my take, guys. I know you're here to talk about some charts. Let's take a look at the Hello token and its price action. So in the last little while, Hello has been kind of doing well. You got to admit, doing very, very well. We called the shots on this divergence, on this little pullback, and this was the buy the dip opportunity. Okay, guys, so this was the time to consider, I want to take a bit of risk. You don't take risk on blow off tops. You don't take risk after rallies to the upside. You take risk when you start coming down and looking for support. You start dabbling in, looking for horizontal support, and we've been getting a bit of support off this 200 daily EMA. We got a nice little bounce, and we continue to the upside, and now you're actually seeing the token getting overbought once again. Okay, this is the issue here, guys. You're getting into an overbought scenario. You trying to break through this second volume gap. We broke through this volume gap after coming down, picking up some more bullish bids, getting some support. DCA in this green arrow. If you happen to get in on this wick, great. But at least this one was the chance, right? At least this one. And now you're up, you're in the green, right? So overall, you may have had to hold a negative position for a little bit, and if you happen to have the the courage to buy the dip upon this level, okay, maybe you scaled in a little bit more and your position size is a bit bigger. That means you're in a little bit more profit. But as you see, guys, right now we're overbought on the daily, which means that things are getting a little bit risky. It doesn't mean that this thing can't go further. It just means that based on the current scenario with momentum, it's risky to have a lot of exposure. So what are you going to do here? Take a bit of profit? Maybe that might be a good idea, because then you're going to reduce your position size to the point that if it does dip down, you're not going to be sacrificing your gains. So let's pretend that you happen to get in here at this green arrow, which is a really good entry nonetheless. And then where we are right now, more or less, we're right here at the bottom of the volume gap. 84% right now from this entry to this red arrow. If you happen to take a bit of profits here, totally fine, no big deal. Scale in, scale out. DCA in, DCA out. Take a bit of profit here, take a bit of profit here. If we happen to go up for a double top, guys, take a bit of profit again. Now, what I usually do is make sure that I leave at least 50% of my bag for long-term hold, and I trade the rest of the 50. So about 50%, I start looking for take profits and buy the dips, and I try to, buy low, sell high, ride those ebb and flows, ride the peaks and the valleys of the market so that I can accumulate more tokens in the long run. Exactly what we did here. Take profits, buy low. Now we're looking for take profit scenarios again. And again, on the daily, look at this, overbought. Let's look at this RSI for a second. We're definitely overbought. We're making a lower high on the RSI, so it's not really good. And if we kind of extend this, you can see that we've been making lower highs significantly here in the last little while. So it's a bit of a a pullback here with regards to strength after this impulsive move to the upside. Although we did get oversold, after we kind of got a bullish response, even the momentum didn't go as high as it used to, which means that over time, could we expect that this would be a confirmation high, a lower high, and then finally come back down again and maybe come down even further? That's the truth. That's what you got to anticipate. So let's take it one step at a time. Right now, the daily is definitely oversold. We're getting class A bearish divergence at overbought scenarios, higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the RSI. In order to invalidate this bearish divergence, this RSI literally has to break above this previous high, which it can happen. Okay, so we got to keep that in mind. If we break above, bearish divergence invalidated, and in that case, who knows how high we're going to go. So, but risk reward, if you happen to get here, in here, you're up 85%. Take a bit of profits. If we break through this volume gap, this is the next area to watch out for. Why? Because it's a double top. It's a double top, and we might not even create a higher high on the RSI while this price action keeps on going higher. And if that's the case, the class A bearish divergence will still be intact, even though we're creating another drive to the upside. We'll have 3 drives of bearish divergence, which would be, you know, usually the last one. 2 drives of bearish divergence is very common. 3 drives of bearish divergence is less common, but more in this case confluent with finally getting potentially rollover. Why? Because it's a ascending wedge, and ascending wedges such as this one, you know, eventually start to break down bearish. Right here we got a nice push to the upside, you know, and of course, look, bearish divergence was still intact. 1 2, look at that, and it even still had enough bullishness to break to the upside. But look at the pullback, guys, afterwards. And this is the thing here, guys, you got to be prepared. Let's quickly get into the 4-day. I'm interested in what the 4-day looks like. The bearish divergence is there on the 4-day. It's still here. You got to be real with it. You know, lower lows on the RSI, higher highs on the price action here. We got bearish divergence, and now we're getting a confirmation high, potential lower high. If we make a lower high here, guys, the bears are going to be loving this, because that's almost like the confirmation. That's it. Like we're making a lower high, and then they're going to be looking for a lower low. If we make that lower low, it's done. This thing's going to potentially come down and start looking for support down here, if that's the case, at about 2 cents. And if it happens, I'm just saying, throw it in out there. Make sure you have some dry powder ready to go to deploy to buy those dips at those lower levels. Okay, I'm not saying that it has to happen. I'm just saying if you are going to ignore the fact that it's not possible or the possibility of it getting there, you might be blindsided if it does go there. And remember, if you have been around here in the crypto space, a lot of the times the majority of the market gets wrecked. Why? Because max pain needs to be induced, and that's where you'll get blindsided. Okay, so be careful here. I like hello. I like what it has to offer. I just wish that it represented the crypto space a little bit better rather than just entertainment. Okay, but nonetheless, if this thing is going to do well, I'm expecting it to run up. And big picture, you know, we're still good for as far as an entry, but if you want to get a really good entry, I would be looking for a bit of a dip in the immediate short term. You know, this lower high that could be in the works could be that confirmation that we're looking for a lower high and another lower low. And if a lower low comes into play, we're breaking below these lows, and we're coming down to about 2 cents. That's my take here. Okay, let's take a look at the 4-hour quick. We'll do a bit of a rundown on the 4-hour. We're definitely overbought. We enter that overbought scenario, and we're getting a bit of a rejection at the bottom of this volume gap, which means that, you know, the likelihood is on the 4 hours that eventually we're going to be looking for a sign of divergence, right? Looking for bearish divergence, and we don't have none just yet. So we're looking for a pattern, some sort of M-ish type of pattern, head and shoulders, inverse cup and handle type of thing, and then we get the follow through and we start breaking down, right? So we have a bit of a trend that we need to break still here on the 4-hour. Nothing has changed. We're just hitting a bit of resistance, both on pretty much on all time frames, the 4-hour, the daily, and even the weekly. You know, overall is giving me that feeling that we're very overbought, and that we should be de-risking and preparing for maybe a bit of a rejection very soon. All right, guys, if I've offered you any value in this deep dive video, do the channel a huge favor and slap the like button. It does really help out with the algorithm. And of course, guys, join me live tonight at 7:30 Eastern, where we talk about crypto news and price action. Take care, guys. Have a good one, and don't forget, buy the dip.